Hi there. I'm Ian Enright, coming from Goat Rodeo Studios. Some of you may have heard of us, but I'd be willing to bet that some of you haven't. In short, we're a creative audio team. We make podcasts. We do that from right here in our nation's capital. At Goat Rodeo, we operate on a pretty simple philosophy: to tell great stories and to make great things. To do that, we find great partners to make that happen. Partnership possibly with folks like yourselves. We're working on some really cool new projects. People are always asking us, what are you guys working on, or what's next? We never have as much time as we'd like to tell people all about them. So we're going to do that right here. And in doing so, you meet a little bit more of the Goat Rodeo team and learn a little bit more about what exactly it is we do here. Some of these shows are already in development, and some are in the very early stages. All of them are looking for partners to make these shows a reality. At Goat Rodeo, we like to think we find stories where others aren't listening. If you want another Missing Murdered Lady series or hot gossip show, that's awesome. Shoot us an email. We'll tell you where you can find those producers. But if you want to make something different, something novel, or you want to work with a team that isn't trying to push a bill of goods in the audio space, reach out to us. We're available, and we have ideas.
In 1790, Pierre-Charles L'Enfant designed Washington, D.C. from scratch. He envisioned a bold new city, the capital of the United States, with huge boulevards and community green spaces, all built on an organized grid system. It was the epitome of modern American city planning.
Doors opening. Step back to allow.
But that was over 200 years ago. Now, those boulevards are riddled with potholes and painted with the words Black Lives Matter. The green spaces are occupied by thousands of people who can't afford city housing within the fastest gentrifying city in the country. You can count on one hand the monuments dedicated to people other than white men. L'Enfant got some things wrong because he designed DC without knowing what types of problems we would face centuries later. So what if we flattened DC and started all over? From the Ground Up takes on that thought experiment with the help of some of the best city planners and forward thinkers. Each episode explores a different aspect of the city and all the challenges that come with it. From bike lanes to public schools and public housing to food deserts and doctors' offices. Keep an ear out for Goat Rodeo's From the Ground Up, redesigning DC for the modern world, one block at a time.
I hope Unsustainable sort of makes people question the world around them a little bit, especially a capitalist, goods-driven world, which I think we all are thoroughly submerged in. And I really hope that it makes this push for protecting the earth and the climate a little bit more genuine. So it's not just a trend that we all genuinely care about this place because the things that we make and buy will make their way into our food and water, which makes our way into our bodies, which then gets passed down to our children. And so it's all just really, really connected. And I think this show could do a really good job showing that and getting people to hear that.
Okay, so the first number is the Tosca hotline, which I don't even really know what that means. All right, are we ready?
You're ready?
I'm dialing.
Welcome to the Toxic Substance Control Act Assistance Information Service. Please hold for the next available representative.
Fun hold music.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling the Toxic Substance Control Act Information Hotline. My name is Bernice. How can I help you today?
I'm doing a piece on how chemicals get regulated in the U.S., and I was just wondering if you'd be able to answer some questions for me, or maybe point me in the right direction.
So I have the EPA Region 3 media contact for you. You ready? Hi, you reached the voicemail of the Disturbance in the Master Office of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Record your message after the tone. When you've finished, you can hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, David. My name's Shar Dreyer. I'm doing a piece on how chemicals get regulated in the U.S. And all right, the next office we're going to call is the Office of Chemical Safety and Pollution Prevention.
Cool. Can't wait.
Hi, Lynn. My name's Shar Dreyer, and I'm doing a piece. Now we're calling the Office of Pollution Prevention and Toxics. I was just referred your number by a woman named Ruth, who works in the Office of
Welcome to the Toxic Substance Control Act Assistance Information.
No. This is it's the hotline. All right, Office of Water. Hi, my name's Shar Dreyer. I'm doing a piece on how chemicals get regulated in the US. I sound like a robot. Calling Office of Air and Radiation. Hi, my name's Shar Dreyer. The Office of Land and Emergency Management. Chemicals get regulated in the US, and I was just wondering if you Office of Research and Development. Hi, my name's Shar Dreyer. She left us her cell number. What a rookie mistake.
And I was just no, she's supposed to do that. That's her job.
I do not remember the last time I left a voicemail, and I just left 3. All right, Office of Public Affairs. You're full of shit. We called at least 10 people.
Sweet.
And we got nothing. We have
in 2021, I'm really excited sort of to see how we upskill ourselves, honestly. I think we have the potential to be doing a lot of really interesting and diverse series that don't sound the same as each other, which I think will give us all the opportunity to do, new and different kinds of writing, new and different kinds of sound design. Pandemic allowing, I think we're all really itching to do field recordings again. And I think we're all really excited to develop in that area. And so to the extent that we're able to, get out of the office a little bit, and go and record people, or not even people, just soundscapes of the actual outside world. If the world opens up a little bit more, I'd love for us to do that.
Good afternoon. On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. These carefully targeted actions are designed to disrupt the use of Afghanistan as a terrorist base of operations and to attack the military capability of the Taliban regime.
In this new war, the most important source of information on where the terrorists are hiding and what they are planning is the terrorists themselves. So I'm announcing today that Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, Abu Zubaydah, Ramzi bin al-Shibh, and 11 other terrorists in CIA custody have been transferred to the United States Naval Base at Guantanamo Bay.
Okay, baby, you have a lot to learn in a really short amount of time, so we need to get started now, and we need you to be with us on this. You gotta take this seriously, all right?
Gender intersects with
You've been selected as the chosen one, the benevolent decider of all things, to make the world a better place. It's not a perfect system, and I admit there were some flaws with the test, but what's perfect? No, seriously though, what is perfect? That's what we need you. We need you to find that out. We know it's not going to happen overnight. We know that. And that's why we're here to help, to put you on the right path. We're going to put you in front of all the greatest minds and thinkers of our time, and maybe some not so great thinkers too, to talk about all the things you need to know. Things like, let's see, how to make world peace. Should we colonize Mars? Is there a hell? What's with the mating habits of octopuses? Why do relationships fall apart? What's the best way to cook an egg? Okay, I think we're here. You better be ready, baby.
Picture a robbery that might happen in your town. Bank robbers taking out security cameras, or broken windows and emptied cash registers, or a mugging on a dark street, or a front door smashed in with a missing TV or jewelry. You might hear police sirens, or see caution tape, witnesses talking to officials, and investigators dusting for fingerprints. There's a real process going on, and everyone knows what's going to happen next. We know what this crime looks like. It's ingrained in our heads. Even more importantly, we expect these crimes to be rare, and we expect people in charge to have a handle on things. But the truth is, most crime doesn't look like that anymore. The real world of crime is less likely to be in our neighborhoods, but on the internet. It moves at speeds faster than any getaway car or smash and grab. It's millions of break-in attempts in a minute. It's the same brick that's thrown through thousands of windows with a single click. And largely, we are unprepared to do anything about it. This is To Catch a Hacker, an audio series about cybercrime, what really happens, how we find the people behind them, and how they are brought to justice. The stories of the solved cases illustrate how we fight cybercrime and why most of these cases are so hard. Each season, we are going to tell the story of a cybercrime and follow the case until it is solved. We are going to use these stories to share lessons of catching cybercriminals and explore where we are falling short.
Loggerheads is like if you overheard the coolest conversation ever at a bar between the most interesting people you may never get a chance to actually meet. Most of us find that what shapes us are our conversations with other humans, one-on-one conversations. And I think that bars really give you this community place to do that.
Loggerheads is a pretty simple concept. What if you took 4 of the most interesting people in Washington, D.C. and put them in a room together?
And I think that's really lovely. And I also think that bars are places where people from all walks of life just come together and have a conversation. So one of the reasons I was so excited about Loggerheads is we wanted to sort of bring that essence back to our listeners.
So the 4 guests arrive, they're taken back to the tasting room of the Columbia Room, and Derek Brown makes them a couple drinks. And then they start talking.
Derek Brown is one of the world's best bartenders. He owns a handful of bars, but the Columbia Room is his baby. As all best bartenders are, he can make you the best ever old-fashioned and then also talk to you for hours about the history of chartreuse.
Loggerheads is a show that I'm really excited about. I think it's really hard to have a drink with somebody and not learn something.
If Derek clocks any of you, I will represent you in court.
Podcasting being an audio medium, I wonder, speaking of like internet communities and little rabbit holes you can go down, again, me following mostly golden retrievers on social media because that's my happy place. There's one I follow in particular where anytime the dog is doing anything like crunchy, or they'll put a hashtag ASMR on it. And I was like, what is this hashtag? And it's just for like people who are really interested in these sounds that like trigger this sensation in your brain. I mean, again, so to your point, actually, that's the flip side of like, there are dark places on the internet, but there are also r/hot peppers on Reddit is a lovely community, or people who just all bond because they love like in weird sounds that like tickle their brain.
I just assumed it was a weird sex thing, so I'm glad.
I mean, it might be for some people, but
anytime I see that, I was just like, I'm not gonna don't click. I'm at the office. I don't want to know what they're doing. So I have only ever seen about 5 minutes of Breaking Bad. My husband loves it, but whenever I was working in the intelligence community, you have to consume a lot. I have like a very visual memory, and like the pictures tend to stick with me, and so you have to consume a lot that's unpleasant to sort of sit in your brain. And so I like didn't want to watch anything disturbing. Like I would just like reruns of The Office, like nothing, like very sort of light media diet was just sort of like important to me. And so my husband's like, no, you like the show. And I'm like, all right, but like it's not like too much. And he's like, no, there's like a little tiny bit of balance. Like it's not that. Oh my God. So we sit down, it comes on, and somebody gets stabbed in the neck with a pen, I want to say. Like immediately. It was like the most violent, disgusting, gratuitous thing. And not only have I not seen the rest of Breaking Bad, I have not relied on his representations regarding a film or television show.